Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Been getting a lot of questions and comments about how to clean or prep cards to PSA. We did have a submission a couple weeks ago, and I think we did really good with it. 20 cards, 17 were PSA 10s. We had 1 8, 2 9s, but we kind of figured 3 of them were kind of rough. So you guys were asking, hey, how do you guys clean it? How do you submit it? So we figured we'd do a video today. It may be right, it may be completely wrong, but at least it'll give you some ideas of, what you can do. If you have any questions, comments, or things that I should do better, just shoot me a comment in the comments there. But I'll kind of show you what I did. So we just got to figure out, what do we need for, PSA submission. So obviously a couple rubber bands, card sleeves. I use the Ultra Pros because they're a little bit longer than BCW. This is a extremely important cardboard gold. These are card savers, so they're a little flimsy, so you can move them around a little bit. Easy for them to get in and out. You can buy them from the website. I think they typically sell them in cases, so you got to buy a lot of them, but I snagged mine off eBay. Pretty cheap. Need some cardboard for the shipping process, but we'll kind of go through, how to do things. Oh, and a big thing, microfibers. There are, there's one video floating around. This guy, he uses paper towels and he's cleaning cards. Absolutely craziness. With the chrome stuff, you'll scratch everything. Do not use paper towel. These are just small microfibers. Try to get the dog hair off of it. They come in, glasses, sunglasses, TV, whatever. But just use these to clean the cards. So we'll kind of look at a couple cards here. So this is the Topps Chrome Ben Baller stuff. So the first thing you guys need to do is when you pull a card out of a pack, if you hit it in a break or something, it's hard to tell the breaker what to do. But with these Chrome cards, there's always gunk on these things. So it's like glue, basically. If you pull a card you like, I always wipe it down with the microfiber pretty light, okay? Then you want to start looking at the card. I'm going to touch the face of it. You should not touch the face of it, but I'm going to try to hold it to help you guys. So when you're looking at the card, the centering is a big tool, especially on cards like this that have borders, okay? So you can obviously tell that, it's slimmer on the left side versus the right. It's kind of questionable. Is that a PSA 10? Is that a PSA 9? I'm not sure. It's probably going to teeter more towards a 9 unless the card's like perfect. So you want to look at the centering first. And I use a couple flashlights here and a lamp, just a regular desk lamp. I'm not going to shine it in your face, but so when you're looking at these cards, you always want to start with like the corners. So I just shine right down to the corners, see if there's any kind of whitening. Now on the paper cards, you're going to see a lot easier than the chrome stuff. So each type of card is going to have its own kind of issues. So like on the chrome cards, typically the corners are pretty good. But if you noticed in the light there, see the edging on the card? That's a red flag there. So you have stuff sticking out there. Now, you can lick your finger and kind of wipe it down. If it goes away, great. If not, it's probably not something I would send in. Chrome cards are notorious for scratches, okay? So what I typically do is I hold the card level up to the lamp, and then you're going to look, I'll try it with a flashlight here, but when you're looking at it level like that, you can kind of see what kind of scratches are on the card, okay? Now this one here, I don't know if you're able to see it, but if you look right here, there's a print line going right down the center of that thing. I think you can see it right there, right to the right of his shoulder. This card's toast. It would never pull a 10. Extremely tough too. So they're going to grade the front of these cards a lot harder than the back, okay? So I've had print lines on the backs of cards, and they kind of bypassed it. I could see it with the flashlights and everything, but these chrome cards, look for print lines right down the middle, okay? Check the centering, check the corners, check the print lines on the back. So on these chrome cards, for whatever reason, I don't know if you can see it. The lighting's terrible. So there's print lines going straight up and down this card. They're all over the place. There's no way this card's going to do well if you're not looking at it with flashlights. People use magnifying glasses. I mean, I guess you can do that. Also on the chrome cards, you're going to see it's, I don't know if it's like if they put a film over top of this or a clear, but it looks like, you know, like on your car when you get like damage from the sun, where it looks like it's peeling, but it's not. It looks like you could lick your finger and kind of wipe the smudge off. Those smudges aren't coming off. They're gone there. They're there forever. So if you see any of that, the card's pretty much done. So I know I touched this card. I'm not supposed to, but I'm just kind of showing you guys kind of what's going on. Now, this card here, so I pulled this one out myself. This is a Gem Mint 10. The front of this thing is perfect. Like, it's a perfect card. On the back, there's one of those smudge things. It looks like, I don't know if you saw I did that, but it kind of looks like a fingerprint like that, but you can't wipe it off. Now, you can only see it under the flashlight, but it's definitely there. They still gave me a 10, so I'm pretty happy about that. Centering, this is a perfect example of centering. So I just wanted to see what I would get on something like this. So on this card here, it's a little thicker on the left versus the right, okay? This card's immaculate, otherwise they pull a 10, okay? This one's numbered out of 25, so it's a good card. Now this card here, look at the difference in the centering here. I just sent it in to see what would happen. This card that got an 8, this thing's perfect, okay? Except for the centering. So look at the difference in grade in the centering now. I probably look like an idiot for grading this, but we're just doing research. We're trying to figure out what's going on. But no surface scratches. Corners are perfect. Centering, bad. So that's what's going to bring an 8, okay? I'm not too scared to tell you. I don't care. It doesn't mean anything to me, but if it helps the next guy, great. So, yeah, make sure you use your microfiber towels cleaning these things. Another perfect example. So on these cards, when you clean the front, okay, so I was cleaning these for my buddy. Obviously the centering's off. See how it's real narrow there, thicker on that side. Heritage, usually maybe some print lines, a couple scratches on the front. The back's a nightmare. So if you look at these cards here, this is called edging, and this card would get absolutely destroyed in grading. So now my buddy had 3 of these, Aaron Judge, Bo Bichette, and unfortunately I'm gonna have to tell him tomorrow that we can't grade these. He's gonna be pretty mad at me, but it is what it is. So Heritage, you know, these are I can't remember what they're called, blue speckles, but they're paper on the back and like a foil sticker on the front. So fronts are usually good. On the back, completely toast. Now, when you're looking at chrome cards, so this is a Vlad Jr. Sepia, okay? Now on the chrome cards, I don't know if you can see this, chrome cards are typically going to have dents. Look right here, okay? So with the flashlight, I don't know if you can see that, you're going to have dimples or dents on the card. Now, have I seen cards that had dimples and dents and still pull 10s? Absolutely. So this one, once again, he's going to be mad, but it's got a dimple on that one. Another thing, so this is a Bowman, came out of a mega box, Marcelo Mayer. This one's numbered out of 99. Unfortunately, I don't want to accuse anybody or whatever, but so a friend of mine wanted me to look at this one, so I'm looking at it. I don't know if you could tell, but once you clean the card and you hold it like perfectly level and you put some light on it, I typically hold this under a lamp and you can see everything. You can't see anything on the video, but there's scratches all down the front of it. Now, unfortunately, these are not print lines. These are scratches. I think it's because he had it in the wrong top loader. You guys got to look. So like there's different sizes of cards. So this card right here, it's a 55 or a 59 point. You got to put that in a thicker top loader. You know, if you're looking at thin cards like that, you could put it in 35, no problem. But if you try to jam one of these suckers in a 55, you're going to scratch the card, especially if you don't clean it. So I don't know if you clean these prior, but the scratches down the front, It's a card out of 99. Not going to grade that one. Now, Panini products, love this guy, Jalen Waddle. Same thing there. I don't know if you guys can see it. Right here, if you look right there, got more dimples. There it is right there. But it's the printing process. You know, they're trying to stamp the cards. Got a dimple on that one. Trevor Lawrence, the Paninis, if you look up here, I mean, you could see it clear as day. So, unfortunately, you got to look at these cards and say, hey, what is wrong with these things? Why wouldn't it get a PSA 10? So, you know, a card like this, you got a dimple right there, you know, you got edges right there. And then I don't know if you can see on the top there, but it's not cut properly. So the foil's kind of bent back. Super picky. Now, if you want to grade cards like this, that's fine, but you just got to be prepared that, hey, it might come in an 8, it might come in a 9. And that's fine, you know what I mean? Like, I don't care. Like, this came in at an 8. I'm never going to sell this thing. Maybe it's worth a couple bucks, maybe it's not. But it's personal collection. Now, this card, say it's worth 10 bucks, but it grades a 9, and it turns into a $90 card, and you paid 20 bucks to grade it. You know, who cares? You know what I mean? So, same thing here. You got the edges on the back there. The Heritage cards are tough. I get so mad at Heritage because, you know, some of them are nice cards, and there's a lot of cool autos that are on card, and you can't grade them. So, but we're going to go back to Freddie here. All right, so say if Freddie was like perfect, okay? We're going to clean him up, and we're going to go through the microfibers here, okay? Clean the front, clean the back. And what I'm saying is, you got to look at the top of this card there, okay? So I would hold it directly under a lamp, or if you got those fancy TikTok lamps or whatever the hell they are, you know, just look at it, and you're going to see the scratches. You're going to see dust, fur balls, hair, whatever. So on these things, if you see anything, I just clean it off, okay? Now, if you got a little gunk that's going to come off, sounds kind of gross, I lick my finger and just kind of dab it, and take the microfiber and just kind of move it in different directions. So if you got some of that chrome glue, typically that comes off. Just try not to scratch the card, okay? Now, on the back, so I've noticed on the back with a lot of the Topps products, you're going to have print lines typically on the bottom or the top here, okay? Now, what I do on that one, this card is very curved. So this is the Ben Baller Chrome stuff. But if you take a flashlight and you're looking straight down on top of it, okay? You don't need a magnifying glass or anything, but you can see the print lines right on the bottom, okay? So that's what you're kind of looking for. And once again, I hate to sound negative, but you know, why is this card not going to pass, okay? And if you're worried about centering, you could look at the back and see if the back's centered. Now, the backs do not have to be perfect, okay? So like I said, just usually concentrate on the front. Now, say if this card was good, and we're going to sleeve this thing. So clean the front, clean the back, and then I usually do the back, you know, same thing, and I'm constantly looking, say, hey, you know, what is on this thing? You know, looking at it with the light, looking at it under the lamp, and then last call, you're doing the front again. You know, look at the sides. Just try to look at it every angle. Now, if you're good to go, this is what I do. So I just put it in a penny sleeve. Now, I go with the Ultra Pros, okay? So if you notice with the Ultra Pros, they're a little bit taller on top. The BCWs are usually cut right there. With these cards, when they're going in, I've noticed a lot of issues with dust, okay? So dust is a problem because obviously they're going to try to ding you for everything. They don't want you to have perfect scores because they want the pop count low, okay? It is what it is. And it holds the value if there's less PSA 10s out there. So if this card's good to go, I take... Now, this is completely up to you guys. It may be completely wrong. On the website, it says don't use these things. But previous employees said they like them. I've heard they cut the card savers. I don't know what the true thing is. But this is how I submit them. So I have these little guys here. There's a sticky part on here. Find the sticky part, okay? And make sure the sticky part is touching the penny sleeve, okay? Make it a little bit more centered. okay, and just touch it. So when he pulls the card out of this thing, you're not getting anything sticky on it. And then what I do, I put a piece of tape on it. Like I said, this might be completely wrong. I'm told that people like it. It says on the website not to do it. Completely up to you on this little tab guy here, okay? So I tape it. So the goal is when they pull it out of the card saver, they could pull in this thing. Now, I've heard that they technically cut them. I don't know how true that is, so I'd be kind of terrified if I cut cards. Like, there's cards sitting there. I really don't think they're going to cut that. Maybe they do. Who knows? So this is your card saver, okay? They call this cardboard gold, card saver ones. The reason they like these is because they're flexible, okay? So what I do, you stick your fingers in it, kind of open it up a little bit, and then I hold it with my finger like this, okay? And what you're trying to do is you're trying to get that card to where it just slides in there, and you're not going to damage it, okay? So I just slide this guy in here like this. Try not to put too much pressure on the card. Try to center it a little bit. Clearly not centered. But like I said, you can move it around. Just try not to damage the card that you're putting in there. Make sure the tab's hanging out there. Now, like I said, I've been told that they cut the sides here. I don't know how true that is, okay? Now, when I'm grading cards, as you get your cards, that's typically when I clean them, instead of trying to go through like 100 cards in a night on the last day of submission for your specials. So here's your card here. Just work on them as you get them. Now, like I said, the biggest thing is when you pull a card that you want, make sure you clean it right away so it's not sitting in, you know, a million of these things and it's being crushed because you got a stack of 1,000 cards and it's pushing dimples into your card, okay? By the way, this is a wander I bought from eBay. Thought it was centered. Not so much, but the PSA 9 still pulls some money, so I don't know what I'm going to do there. So what I've done, I just grab a Ziploc bag. All the cards that I'm getting ready for prep, or I'm sorry, getting ready to send a PSA, I throw in a Ziploc bag because for whatever reason, the dust somehow still gets into these things and they're getting on the cards. So completely up to you. If you just want to have them set out, that's fine, but I've noticed dust is everywhere, it flies around. This is my next PSA submission. Now, a lot of you guys said, hey, what happens when you get like thicker cards, okay? So I have a Cal Ripken Sterling patch auto out of 5. It's a red coming in, super thick. So you can put them in top loaders like this. If you have a 35, 55, or 59 point, so basically the thinner cards, put them in these all day. If you try to crush, this is a Brooklyn collection. If you try to crush a 75 or a 79 in here, you're jeopardizing the edges, you're jeopardizing the corners. Don't want to do that. Same process. Now this gun, they're definitely going to want the tab on this one because I don't want their grungy ass fingers going in there, pressing on the top of the card. Poop, they pull this thing, it's out, you're good to go. And I'm doing what I'm saying. I hate when people preach stuff and they don't do it. So these are kind of cards that I'm sending in. Now these are a little bit higher end. So God knows what I'm going to get charged for this. This is a Bowman Chrome Sapphire variation, Julio. Now, got print lines on the back. This is that Chrome SP and the silver packs. Print lines on the back. These are cheaper ones. So you got Bobby Witt, Julio. These are out of the Rookie Cup sets. Casey Mize I'm going to send in. It's like perfect. Acuna Black. Love me some Vlad. The paper stuff you'll notice is very tough, okay? So you're better off sending in Chrome because it's easier to figure out, you know, what's wrong with the card. And you don't have to worry about as many edging issues. So I get all these, I throw them in there. Now I have a 20 card submission. It's currently at PSA. It's in stage 5. It's been there for like a week and a half. I don't know what in the world's going on. But say you grade all your cards, or I'm sorry, you clean all your cards, prep all your cards. Now the last two, I submitted them in a plastic bag because I don't want dust and stuff getting into them. They haven't charged me a fee or anything, so I just want them as clean as possible. So what's going to happen is you're supposed to take 2 pieces of cardboard like this, okay? And then they want you to take rubber bands. Obviously, if you don't want them too tight, you want them too loose. Yes, there's Aaron, and I'm kind of half-assing it because, you know, just trying to do it on video. I'm not submitting it like this. But that's kind of how they want you to submit it. You know, bubble wrap it, put it in a good box. When you ship these things, you have to pay for the shipping yourself to get it there. Always make sure you do the sign for delivery. Insure your cards. So it might cost you $30 to ship them, but you're not going to lose $5,000 in cards, okay? So that's pretty much the basics of it. And like I said, you're gonna have to learn how to do it. You might get a grader that's a jerk, and he's just trying to get you. You have that anywhere and everywhere, you know, with anything basically. So if you get an 8, who cares? You know, give it away, sell it, put it in your PC. This card right here, the centering was off a hair, you know, top to bottom. This is a Montgomery Club set. That's the one with the stamp on it. Comes back a 9. You know, the paper stuff's going to be tough. The Herbert, I thought this was definitely going to be a 9 because the edges on the back. Centering is good. Came back a 10. Anything Panini Instant, good freaking luck. You know, I looked through 40, 60 of these cards. This is the best looking card, and you got the edges on these things. They're just tough. So, you know, the card still brings money. It's a $6 card, not graded. A PSA 9's worth a couple bucks more. Not like I'm getting rid of it or anything. But it's just trial by error. If you guys have any questions with anything, you know, shoot me comments. You can shoot me a comment on the video. I'm also on Twitter, CrossViper Cards, you know, same handle. I love talking about cards. If you want to bash me, bash me. If you want to talk about stuff or have questions or say, hey, you know, I suggest doing this. I appreciate any kind of help, any kind of ideas. So if we could just help each other get some better graded cards. Now, you got to watch too, PSA, they do run these specials, and you got to pay $99 for the silver subscription. And you get specials every quarter, every month. So say you want to grade a bunch of these and, you know, $2, $3 cards. You know, they were running a special in January, 15 bucks a card. Now, they have a special right now where it's $19 a card, up to $500 in value. Okay, so on the $15 a card, it was $200 in value. So that's why I got, you know, a lot of stuff like this graded. You know, it's probably $10, $15 card, if that. Grades PSA 10. Maybe it's worth 150 bucks, 180. Maybe it's worth 100. Who cares? But it's PC stuff. Sorry, the dog's knocking the table. This is one of the ones that I really liked. The Bo Bichette out of 50. So, but if you guys have any kind of questions, concerns, let me know. Let me see if I missed anything here. I kind of rant. Make sure you sub. Appreciate that. So we hit like 180 subs on the last video, 20,000 views, which is absolutely insane. And then I'll definitely go over the PSAs that I have coming in, hopefully in the next couple weeks. So let me see what we got here. I think that's about it. Yeah, so shoot me a follow on Twitter. You know, definitely like, subscribe, shoot me some comments on this. And, you know, maybe if you get enough questions, we'll make another video and play around with some stuff and kind of see where everything's at. And whenever I get that new PSA order in, we'll post a video. I'll see you next time. I appreciate the watch, guys. You guys are awesome. And I'll see you next time.